lifestyle. But in every case, there was a so-called God who gave instructions to construct a ship. And this is where ancient legends get very interesting. Because while Noah was building his ark and saving his animals, other legends say that others of his generation took other precautions. Some building other types of ships, which were to go to the stars. And what is also interesting is that the legends tell us that not all animals were included on Noah's Ark. Does the story of the Great Flood provide evidence that extraterrestrials have been experimenting with different life forms on Earth for thousands of years? Ancient astronaut theorists suggest that such experimentation continues to this day, but that it is now being directed by humans. Ruppalo, Italy, 1988. While studying marine life off the coast of Italy, German biology student Christian Sommer discovers a microscopic species with an incredible ability. It never dies. The animal, a jellyfish called Turritopsis donai, repeatedly reverts back to its earliest polyp state and begins its life cycle over and over again.
Now there's something strange going on here. There's something that doesn't appear to happen in any other life form that we've ever identified in the millions and millions of different creatures that live on Earth. There is no theoretical limit to how much this creature is able to recycle itself. That completely defies all known scientific laws of biology as we now see them.
Scientists have nicknamed the species the immortal jellyfish and are attempting to unlock its biological secrets in the hopes that they may hold the key to increasing the lifespan of humans. How did such an incredible creature come to exist in the first place? Ancient astronaut theorists believe that extraterrestrials may still be seeding our planet with new life forms to help direct the path of mankind's evolution. The idea that life on Earth may have an otherworldly origin has fascinated mankind for thousands of years. It was first proposed in the 5th century BC by Greek philosopher Anaxagoras. He believed that all living things came from cosmic seeds scattered throughout the universe. He called the concept panspermia.
Significant thinkers throughout the ages have considered this possibility. Anaxagoras in ancient Greece, Lord Kelvin, Fred Hoyle, Francis Crick, the co-discoverer of DNA, who, by the way, thought that it was too complicated to have been developed on Earth alone, up to Stephen Hawking in our time, have considered this idea that life came from beyond the planet.
Is it also possible that what we're looking at is a series of ETs that might have been visiting Earth for hundreds of thousands of years and have been systematically dropping off some of their favorite creatures from other biological worlds very similar to our own that have certain special ingredients so that once we reached a certain level of technology, we could adapt those qualities into our own life?
Is humanity still under the influence of animals introduced to Earth by otherworldly beings? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and suggest that we are beginning to become like our alien ancestors, playing a hand in the evolution of life on Earth.
One of the cutting edges of biology now is we're taking human stem cells, putting them into embryos of animals, and then hoping that it becomes a human cell. So this is a lot of experimentation. We can take a DNA molecule within an animal specific genes the very first time, which is unleashing lots of Frankenstein monsters. Right now, what we've seen, the most interesting and to me scary example of this comes from China, where they've taken a single gene, inserted it into a beagle, and caused that beagle to have twice the musculature than it otherwise would have. These things are like super beagles, and that begs the question: if you can do it to a beagle, can you do it to a human? Absolutely.
This could be the first step of a revolution in biology that leads to us starting to have the type of abilities that are commonly recorded in the ancient lore of extraterrestrial gods visiting Earth.
Is it possible that mankind is beginning to reach the level of our alien ancestors, as ancient astronaut theorists propose? And do they continue to assist us in this process, secretly introducing incredible new life forms on Earth? Perhaps further clues can be found by examining a new scientific endeavor to see Earth life on other planets. Frankfurt, Germany, September 2016. German physicist Dr. Claudius Gross of the Institute of Theoretical Physics at Goethe University introduces a new theory titled the Genesis Project, which proposes that mankind should not simply search for life on distant planets, but create it.
So in exoplanetary research, we have realized now that there will be planets which will be habitable but lifeless. And normally people believe, well, that is bad luck if we are looking for a second Earth. But it offers us a new opportunity now to visit these planets.
The Genesis Project calls for depositing single-cell living organisms onto lifeless planets.
If you really want to kickstart this thing, you find an already oxygenated world. And then you can put out cells such as ours that have a big nucleus that can move directly into an animal grade, which is multicellular. In a sense, this kind of seeding that Professor Gross is wanting to do in the near future is exactly the kind of thing that extraterrestrials would have probably have done in the remote past.
In planning to transmit life to other planets, are humans today replicating what extraterrestrials did on Earth? Are we continuing a cycle that has been taking place throughout the universe for many millions of years? The fossil record, while it's there, doesn't necessarily correspond to Darwinian evolution, because you don't see the transitional creatures in between whatever evolution there may have been. So, this suggests to me an outside influence. Whether it was panspermia, direct panspermia, or later the artificial mutation of our genes by extraterrestrials, I think, in fact, it may be a combination of all three. It's very possible there have been lost cultures and species that have literally evolved and left the planet. When we look at the various races of extraterrestrials that are possibly visiting us today, there could be some connection to various species here on Earth. With all of these incredible stories of ancient human-animal hybrids and strange creatures coming from the stars, coupled with modern stories of people that have had experiences with animalistic type extraterrestrials, we have to ask if Earth is some kind of a laboratory where extraterrestrials are experimenting with various species trying to come up with different beings. In fact, when we look out into the cosmos, we have to ask, is it filled with beings of different animalistic characteristics? And as we begin to meet these beings, are we meeting with past versions of ourselves or perhaps future versions of ourselves? Is it possible that extraterrestrials seeded the Earth and continue to use it as a genetic laboratory in which humans are just one of many experiments? If so, could there be another species destined to overtake us? Or are we in the process of merging other animals with ourselves to become more like our alien ancestors? Perhaps one day soon,